Hello, sports fan, and welcome to the Packs for Breakfast All-Star Team. This is an all-star team. This is a great team right here. One of the more underrated catchers, three great outfielders. Definitely an all-star team. No weak points on this team. But as we've been doing with these videos lately, we kind of just do the season that was based on the card. So basically, these are the 88 Fleers, and it's like, so we're going to do their 87 season, which led to these cards, and see what their totals were up to this point. What you'll notice is some of these guys are fairly early in their careers. You've seen it with a few of the other videos as well. We open up packs of cards every Sunday, not every Sunday, because coming up we got some missed Sundays that we're going to have. This Sunday we'll be here. So tomorrow, if you're watching this on Saturday, we will be there at 6 a.m. Mountain Time, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. We will be there opening up a bunch of packs of cards. I think we're doing a newer Bowman set. Don't quote me on that because I don't know if we were able to secure these cards. So let's get right into this. Let's start off with probably the weakest, but not a weak player, Benito Santiago. Benito Santiago in 1987 hit 300 with 18 home runs, 79 RBIs, and as a catcher stole 21 bases. Not bad. Usually your catcher doesn't have any wheels. He played in 146 games in 1987, so most of the season. His totals up to that point, though, he was batting .299. He had 21 home runs total, 85 RBIs, and 21 stolen bases. That's because the previous season, he only played 17 games. This was essentially his rookie year, Benito Santiago. Even though we did play 17 games in 86, I think it was. But in 87, he was the full-time catcher for the San Diego Padres. So he'd only played 163 games up to this point, up to getting this card. Then we move over to Rickey Henderson. Rickey is interesting because at this point, this is our major veteran. He's played 9 seasons in the MLB, played a lot of seasons with the A's, and he got traded to the Yankees. When he got traded to the Yankees, it's like, this is where he ends up. Now, he plays, I think, 86, 87, and 88 with the Yankees. So in the 87 season with the Yankees, he goes .291, 17 home runs, 37 RBIs, 41 stolen bases, but he only plays 95 games. He was injured that season. He had a hamstring problem, but Steinbrenner wanted to trade him in 87 because he said he was, and the quote from where I read was, he was jaking it, which means he was playing lackadaisically. I guess that was a jaking it. I've never heard that. It's Jaking. So I've never heard the term before. It's like jaking it, jaking the fat man. I don't know. But, so he wanted to get rid of Rickey in 87 because he said he wasn't playing up to his potential. At that point, though, in his career, he was batting .290. He had 120 home runs, 454 RBIs, and he had 701 stolen bases. What was interesting is that 87 season, it was the first time that Rickey didn't lead the league in stolen bases. That year it was led by Harold Reynolds, who had 60. And I guess Rickey Henderson called him up and kind of sheepishly congratulated him, but also not really congratulated him because he only had 60 stolen bases. And he goes, Rickey would have had over, because Rickey liked to speak about himself in the third person. So talking to Harold Reynolds, he says, you should be ashamed of yourself because Rickey would have had over 100. So, that was just Rickey Henderson. He was a little bit of a, he was a little bit of a different cat. But sometimes it's just what makes guys special. But he had stolen base seasons that were in the hundreds. in the late 70s and early 80s, early to mid 80s. But 87, he was hurt. In the future, though, he would be traded back to the A's in June 21st, 1989. He would go back to the A's, which is where, of course, he basically won his World Series because he won another one. I can't remember, like 93 or something like that. But he won his 89 World Series with that A's team. So it's like what was interesting about both of his trades, because he was traded from the A's to the Yankees, then he was traded from the Yankees back to the A's. Both times, Eric Plunk was involved in these trades. So Eric Plunk was involved in the trade that brought Ricky to New York, and then Eric Plunk was involved again in the trade that sent him back to Oakland. So I don't know where Eric Plunk ranks in your hearts, but just know that when Ricky was being traded in the 80s, he was there. Now we'll talk about Bonds real quick. Bonds to me is the greatest player of all time. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I will always say it until basically probably Shohei Ohtani overtakes him in my mind, which is probably close. Shohei Ohtani is, he's an amazing player. And even, I'll tell you, Aaron Judge could get a nod there too, because Aaron Judge is just a really good hitter. Right now he's batting like .412 or something like that in the MLB. Something just insanely sick. Just amazing what he's done. But Barry Bonds in 1987, it was only his second year in the league. He batted .261 with 25 home runs, 59 RBIs, and 32 stolen bases. So this is the start of him becoming the five-tool player, being a great fielder, being great on the base pads, being a great hitter for power too. Second season, pretty good. The hitting for average, he still wasn't quite there yet. 261's not great. His career average up to that point was 245. He had 41 total home runs, 107 runs batted in, 68 stolen bases. He played until 92 for the Pirates. 93 is when he went to the Giants, but you could tell he was starting. It's like 2 seasons in, and he's got the wheels. The hitting is still developing, and he's got a little pop in the bat. So let's talk about Strawberry. You're probably wondering, why talk about Strawberry last? Well, because Strawberry is an interesting player. As in 87, he had won the World Series in 86 with the Mets. At 87, he had a really good year at 284 with 39 home runs, 104 RBIs, and 36 stolen bases. His career numbers up to that point, he was batting .266 with 147 home runs, 447 RBIs, and 136 stolen bases. The interesting part was Darryl Strawberry was a member of the 30-30 Club. Now, in 1987, the 30-30 Club is still an amazing club to be in, because Canseco does not establish the 40-40 Club until the next season. 1988 is when Jose Canseco would become the first member of the 40-40 Club. So Darryl Strawberry in 87 is a member of the 30-30 Club with 39 home runs and 36 stolen bases. But Canseco, we kind of upped the bar back in 88, and then in 2024, the bar is upped even further by Shohei Ohtani being in the 50-50 Club. Now, there's only 6 members of the 40-40 Club. Now, some of these guys, it's easy to name them. Jose Canseco, because of course he was the first. A-Rod, good power, good speed earlier in his career. Shohei Ohtani, because of course the 50-50. Barry Bonds was a part of the 40-40 Club, had the wheels, had the pop in the bat. The guys that kind of surprise you, you might not get them right away. Maybe you get Acuna, because Acuna's recently. But Acuna's numbers, he is the only member of the 40-70 Club. Hit 40 home runs with 70 stolen bases. Now, maybe Ricky if Ricky played in this day and age and had access to the training that these players do, maybe Ricky is a member of that club. Maybe Ricky is the first member of the 50-50 club, because he had great pop in his bat for being a leadoff hitter and a stolen base guy. But Acuna, 40 home runs, 70 stolen bases. So great speed and great pop in the bat. But the one that'll probably surprise you, and it surprised me because I forgot he was a part of it, Alfonso Soriano was a part of the 40-40 club. It's a very exclusive club to be in with Canseco, Bonds, Acuna, A-Rod, and Ohtani. But there's Alfonso Soriano, who hit I think he had 42 or 43 home runs with 46 stolen bases, or maybe those numbers are flipped. But that's what's kind of amazing. That 40-40 club is pretty exclusive and has a couple of guys you wouldn't know that were there. But that is the show for this week, and that's All Star for now.